Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you like the content, hit the subscribe button, leave a like down below. So WWE 2K26 just posted, or should I say 2K, just posted a little new teaser thing, a little teaser video for us to get excited about the game. And there's a lot of good stuff in here. Now, of course, I was at work when they dropped it, but I was looking at it when I was at work. And there's a lot of little deep things in here. And there's one thing that I noticed that I don't see anybody else talking about. And I really hope I'm right about it, because it would be huge, because that individual has not been in the game for a very, very long time. And she should absolutely return. Let's go check this out. All right, here we are over on X, and we're going to check this out real fast. And then when we're done, we'll see how well I did when we'll go look through all the comments real quick. Not all of them, but a lot of them, because there's a lot of zoomed in pictures and stuff like that. So let's watch this little trailer real quick. Glass shattering, boom. I want to say that's a reference to Stone Cold Steve Austin. All right, let's look at this. So right off the bat, this is what I saw when I was on break. This is universe mode, obviously. The draft is coming to universe mode, just like Mike Straw said early on during one of their private Discord things. Shoutouts to Mike Straw, that got leaked. Anyway, so he said that the draft, he heard, was coming to the universe mode and was going to get a major overhaul, or at least a lot of love and some much needed updating and fixing. So that's huge news. The draft is coming to there. I hope you can turn it off, because I really don't want my wrestlers leaving my show that I make in the mode. Because when I make my show and everything, I got all my creative wrestlers. I pick a few main wrestlers. I don't want them just going all over the place. Hopefully you can turn it off. Hopefully it's not forced, but I think it's a cool addition to the mode regardless. So that's really cool. Obviously, we got Mr. Iguana. I was joking, thinking it was Randy Orton, the snake Randy Orton from 2K20 with the snake skin. So even though it's not a snake, it's an iguana, totally different, creatures. But I just thought it'd be funny. He's like, oh, this is a reference to Randy Orton. This is Snake Randy Orton. It's not Mr. Iguana. No, AAA, Mr. Iguana. That's pretty cool. That's the dead giveaway. And then one of the things that had me tripping up was the two-toned hair and the fur boots. And I cheated a little bit. I went and looked it up. The two-tone hair, I think, is just for a creative wrestler. But the fur boots were definitely Melina. And Melina is one of my all-time favorites. She desperately needs to come back in the games. In fact, she's one of the creative wrestlers I always download every single game. It bugs me that she's not in it. I really hope she comes back this year. That would be freaking awesome, especially if they're dropping last gen and we get all new character models. She'll look fantastic. So hopefully Melina comes back. Long overdue. Can't wait. Then the two-tone hair, I'm sure that's a wrestler somewhere, but we'll have to discuss that later, because I did see a post that had a really good guess about that, and we'll get to that here in a minute. Now, the vanity mirror, obviously, that is Blake Monroe. That's the one I want to guess. And then I want to say these are either arenas or the showcase matches. And that's Clash of the Castle. It cuts off which one. It says Punk, Rollins, and Roman. So I think that was the WrestleMania from, was it last year's WrestleMania or the one before that? I think it was last year's. Cena versus Orton. Breakdown or Breakpoint, okay. WrestlePalooza, which just happened. So I hope that's not a showcase match. Hopefully it's just the arena. That'd be kind of cool. Night of Champions. I wonder which one. Probably a recent one. See, what sucks about the showcase mode and the wrestlers they have on the roster, they can't really use wrestlers they don't have on their roster currently, because they'd have to pay them money. A lot of them are, butthurt about not being in the company anymore, so they won't let them use their likeness, although it's free money, so I don't know why. Or WWE just doesn't want to use them because they're not in the company anymore. So there's also that. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what this was, and someone said it looks like a gasoline bin thing, and this looks like a match, so that'd be freaking more hardcore stuff. This is probably a reference. If it is gasoline, it's probably a reference to the Inferno match that's already been pretty much confirmed. So that's pretty cool. Then we got the Z back here for Zack Ryder. That's a dead giveaway that he'll be in the game. I wonder if he'll be on base roster or DLC. And then down here, where was it? Okay, yeah. So down here we got the cart. That's really cool. Maybe we'll get Hardcore Holly. Someone said maybe we'll get Raven. That would be super cool to get Raven in the game. I don't think what was the last time he was in the game? It's been a minute since Raven was in it. So it'd be super awesome to get Raven back in the game. But I think it's just a new weapon type that we can hopefully throw them in the basket, push them around, and dump them out like in Jackass. It'd be a lot of fun online moments for that, playing with your buddies. I think there was, what old game was it that had a, I'm pretty sure it had a shopping cart. Was it one of the early SmackDown games? I could have sworn there was a shopping cart, and then you run down the ramp and you can dump them over on their head and stuff. Did I dream that? Or I'm pretty sure that was in an old game. Sound off in the comments below. And then the microphone. Now, I'm just guessing it's something to do with CM Punk, which with his wife coming back, AJ Lee, I'm going to say this is a reference to AJ Lee, pretty much because of CM Punk. So CM Punk, AJ Lee, hopefully she'll be on the base roster, but she's such a mega star and a huge, like, had a huge impact on the women's division and where it is today. I have a feeling she's going to be either a pre-order bonus or DLC, like in the first DLC pack, because they're really going to want to charge extra for her, kind of like I said they were going to do with Brock Lesnar after they removed him, because he's a major star. People want Brock in the game, and they're going to pay extra to get him. I have a feeling they're going to do the same thing with her. Anyway, now, the last thing that I saw that I'm not seeing anybody else talk about, these right here look like black long boots. Now, my brain went immediately to Sable. So I want to say this could be a big return for Sable finally after years of not being in the game. I can't even remember what the last game was she was in. Why not put her back in the game? Vince isn't in the company anymore. Brock should be okay with her using her likeness in the games. Why not? They don't have bra and panties matches anymore in the games. You could put her back in the game. Give her some love. Like, she was huge back then. And she was one of the ones that helped the women's division stay alive during her time in the company. So she needs her flowers. Bring back Sable. She was freaking a badass. She was awesome. I really want her back in the game, along with Tori Wilson. And maybe that's what they were waiting for. Maybe they were trying to convince Brock to let Sable come back in the game. But with his name being dragged through the mud, maybe they held it off for a year. Now, if her and Tori Wilson are back, maybe we'll get some showcase matches for Tori Wilson and give them both some justice. Because they're giving China some justice this year. Maybe there's a cool China match in the game. Hopefully they do the Intercontinental match. That'd be awesome, where she wins the Intercontinental title for China. There's so many cool things that they could do with the Attitude Era that they haven't done before. But I really hope that this is Sable. I could be reading in this. It could just be anything. But to me, these look like black boots. And I want to say it's Sable. All right, now that that's done. Now, there's one thing about the chair. The chair, I don't know if this is just a reflection or if it's actually red. Like, I don't know. I don't know what that is. So down in the comments below what you think about that. Now, let's look at some of your comments and what you guys think is in here. All right, so let's look at some of these comments. Now, there's one thing I forgot. And shout outs to Loaded is a Beast. He says there's thumbtacks near the tape. And yeah, right here, near to the tapes. These are thumbtacks. So that's really cool. Maybe we can use thumbtacks in the game. I believe that was in AEW Fight Forever. One more thing they took from AEW Fight Forever. I think that's hilarious. All right, now down to the comments. So L2 Games says, OMG, I love you guys for the fur boots and wig mention. Iconic. Thumbtacks, Loaded as a Beast. The Cause are about to go crazy with fur boots. So here's all the female wrestlers that used fur boots. Melina, like I was saying, one of my favorites. I did not know Naomi used fur boots that much. I missed her whole TNA run, so that could be when she used it. But no, she's using fur boots here. I feel like it was more of a Melina thing, because yeah, most of her gear had the cool fur boots. So hopefully it's a reference to Melina. Shoutouts to Zebra Games. Freaking Iguana, we saw. That's pretty much obvious. That's an obvious one. And then down here, someone asked for the locker room. Go watch my video, buddy. I made a video on that. Here's a close-up of the tapes. Clash at the Castle, Punk versus Rollins versus Roman, WrestleMania, Cena versus Orton, Breaking Point, WrestlePalooza, Night of Champions. Didn't say which one, though. The Night of Champions, ? Hardy versus CM Punk. That would be really cool. And then this Vanity Mirror, Blake Monroe, like I said. Then Zack Ryder, there we go, same thing. And then someone's like, what are these fur boots and everything? In the shopping cart, there's Raven with the shopping cart. Hopefully we get all these items in here too. That'd be funny. Scrolling down a little bit more. thumbtacks. Here's the thumbtacks that we couldn't see because I can't zoom in on here. Cool, we got some thumbtacks coming, so a new weapon. That'll be freaking awesome. More hardcore stuff. Ortan. They spelled Orton wrong. And then, let's see here. Down here, scrolling some more. Mr. Iguana. Fur boots. Suggests he'll finally be part of the Legends roster. Victoria. Okay, wait a minute. Here we go. Fur boots plus two-toned wig. The clue. It was never just a phase. The meaning. This is a direct nod to Victoria. The two-tone wig and fur boots were staples of her early psycho persona in the early 2000s. It suggests she will finally be a part of the Legends roster or featured in a showcase mode. Okay. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, for the most part, that's pretty much it. Oh, wait. Here is the one I was talking about for the two-toned hair. And this made a lot of sense, and it would be insane if they managed to pull this off. So let's look at this real quick. So, Slouch to Yum, they posted, just being very delusional, but could the two-toned hair and fur boots mean Velvet Sky? That would be freaking awesome. I don't think she's ever been in a game at all because, well, TNA Wrestling never had game. But if they get her, I really hope they get her too. I want all of the beautiful people in the game. That'd be freaking awesome. The fur boots and everything. They do have a partnership with TNA Wrestling. How cool would it be if they got them? That would be freaking awesome if they're part of the DLC. Yes, please. Please put them in the game. Please. So right as I wrapped up the video we were just talking about, 2K went and showed off another edition of the game. And that is the King of Kings edition, so a Triple H edition. So how many editions of this game are there? Now, as I said earlier in this video, I'm going to splice these two videos together to make one video because I don't want to edit two different videos, and usually when you do that, they don't do very well. Anyway, what are they doing? Is there going to be also a CM Punk edition? Why are there so many editions? Are they going to do something cool where there's actual physical copies of all these editions to where you can have like a different cover for each one? That would be super cool. I mean, now you're getting to the point where you're going to confuse players. This is going to be a nightmare for having players trying to decide which one to buy. Now, as we stated earlier, the Monday Night Wars edition, I had to think there for a second. The Monday Night Wars edition is supposed to be the complete, most expensive edition with the most DLC features and everything, which tells me that is going to be like $150, right? So then the Attitude Era edition is probably going to be the $100 edition, or maybe the $130 edition, which won't have a certain DLC pack or something, right? And now we got this edition, which I think Triple H's edition is going to be the $100 edition, which will have certain stuff for him. If they lock like certain things behind each edition that you can't get in the other editions, that's going to piss off a lot of players because, like I said, now we're getting in a little like what's going on here. And then supposedly there's supposed to be a standard edition also. Is that the one with CM Punk on the cover? Like, because there was a huge rumor that he was the showcase star. I'm beginning to think Punk is just in the showcase. I don't think he's the major focus anymore. They made it sound like CM Punk was going to be on the cover. He was going to be the main star of the game. He was going to be the showcase star. I don't think that's the case anymore. I think he's just there. Maybe this has something to do with the island mode. Maybe those three factions they were talking about. Maybe it's like a war zone, kind of like there was back in the day for WCW versus WWE. Maybe they're going to throw AAA in there. Maybe they're going to throw in some other stuff. Who knows at this point? I am completely confused why there's so many different editions. But if we look back at 2K25, 2K25 had the standard edition. 2K25 had the Deadman edition. It had the Bloodline edition or Blood Money edition. Shout outs to Mr. Dubs. I think it's funny. And then they had the Farewell Tour Pack edition, which comes with everything that all the other editions have, including the Brock Lesnar and John Cena Farewell Tour edition pack. So I wonder if there are going to be 6 editions of this game this year. That's crazy. I mean, I'm confused. Whatever the most expensive one is, I mean, heck, we could be looking at a $200 edition. Maybe the Monday Night Wars edition is a big collector's edition with physical merchandise. If that's the case, that would be super cool. I hope that's the case, in fact, because I miss the old days where you could buy like these big collector's editions and they come with all this cool stuff. They don't do that anymore. Like, it's all digital now. Like, last year was a huge bummer for me because you can only just buy the regular edition. That's it, physical. And then with all like tons of updates and tons of DLC, the disc is pretty much useless if you think about it. It just has the base of the game, and then you have to go download literally everything else. So if you want to play it years from now and you don't have access to the servers anymore, well, you're SOL. You can't play that game anymore. So leaning into this digital era, I don't know. I'm so confused right now. So there's probably going to be more news throughout the day. If there's anything else that drops, like major, like the next cover or a gameplay thing or something like that, keep it on the channel because I will get a video up before I go to bed. I usually go to bed pretty early because I get up for work at 1 a.m. But yeah, other than that, keep it on the channel. I'll make some videos tomorrow. Might be doing a collaboration with somebody tomorrow. It all depends on if everything lines up correctly. So keep an eye on the channel for that too. Yeah, let me know what you think of all this. What a great day for information and news and video topics. I had to cram all this in here in one video. Sorry it's a little bit longer than most videos I do, but I could not like include this in the same video. So sound in the comments below. What do you think of all this? And as always, stay frosty.